what's up you guys, the Dorcas Knight here doing another action figure review, and this time on the DC Comics Multiverse Justice League Collect and Connect Steppenwolf Superman action figure. Taking a look at the packaging over here, it's pretty much the exact same thing to all the other figures inside the wave. You got the Superman over here in the corner, you got the JL in the background, you have Justice League Superman over here on the side. It says Collect and Connect Steppenwolf, has the DC logo. On the back over here, it has an image of Superman right there, the same one that's on the front. It has Superman over here with a little read up right there. And then on the back over here, it shows you all the characters or figures that you need to collect and connect to build Steppenwolf. So we got Superman, Batman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, which have now been all reviewed since this is my last review. Here's Steppenwolf. This is the Collect and Connect figure, and Superman comes with the head and the skirt piece, which I will take a look at in his review. At the bottom over here, it has some copyright stuff, or sorry, some warnings and all, copyright stuff at the very bottom. It says DC Comics Multiverse at the top. On the side over here, the window box continues with DC Comics Multiverse, and then the Justice League logo once again. So that's about it with the packaging. Let's take a look at this figure. Here's Superman, and so far, this is probably the best part about the Justice League film, so this is already probably my favorite figure inside of this wave. The colors on this is amazing, all the paint apps and such. It's way better than this old BVS figure over here, and I'll get into that later on. The articulation on this figure is pretty much the exact same thing. It does have a new head sculpt. He does now have a cloth cape, which I do like, but there is some issues with the cloth cape. But anyway, let's get into this figure. Starting off with the head sculpt over here, we got Henry Cavill, or the CW Superman. It's a bit of a joke that people have been talking about. But anyway, there's a comparison. And yeah, I don't know about this head sculpt over here, but I think it does resemble a cartoonish version of Henry Cavill, which I do like too. But comparing it to the old BVS figure over here, to see how much better it was, yeah, I think this was a bit of a better head sculpt than this guy over here, but we'll save the comparison for near the end of the video. But anyway, paint apps, skin tone on this guy looks pretty good. He does seem a little bit tanned, but overall it looks pretty good. It matches Henry Cavill's color pretty well. He has the blue eyes in there like Henry Cavill's supposed to. He has the mouth. It does resemble a cartoonish version of him, which I do like. I don't think there's any sort of extra paint on the hair over here. Let's see if this will focus. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so I don't think that there's any more paint or any of that on this figure over here, but it doesn't really bother me. It looks good as is. Yeah, but anyway, moving on to the chest emblem. This Man of Steel logo over here came out very clean. It looks very nice, especially with the gold paint in there and how it matches with just a kind of shiny suit altogether. So like, as much as this is the exact same suit as this guy over here, it looks like fresh. It looks very close to the movie in my opinion. The blue on it that they chose is just amazing. I really do like it. But yeah, you can see all the little textures in there. He's got the six-pack. Looking over here at his bicep. Yeah, it has a little Kryptonian writing in there. There's a little braces there. The fist doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I'm very happy with how this figure turned out. I thought it was going to be one of my least favorite ones, but so far it's probably been my favorite, and once again that's probably because of the movie, how much I like the character inside the movie. But anyway, here's the cape at the back. I do like the fact that they're going with the cloth cape, but there are some problems with this, and one of them is that it starts with like a plastic cape over here, and then it just turns right into a red cape. So it's kind of odd, but you wouldn't really be looking behind him that often unless if you were to be taking shots from his back towards the camera. But overall, it's kind of fine. I do like the shine inside the cape. The shine's very good. You can't see through it though, which is kind of bothersome. If you look in the movie, his cape is supposed to be pretty thick. But yeah, it has a little shine in there, which you do like too. You can see all the wrinkles and all that on the figure. But one problem that I've got is when I was taking this outside the packaging, it kind of ruined the cape a bit, just for the way how it was packaged. Let's see if I can find an example in here somewhere. Okay, here. Right here. I don't know if this will show up on the camera. Let's see. So, right in there. So as you can see, like a little bit like teared out, so it's one thing to note. It doesn't really bother me since it's so small. But yeah, that's one thing to note for sure. And on the other side of the cape, it's not really shiny as it is on the back side. So yeah, it's an alright cape, to be honest. Looking at the legs over here, his belt is probably the exact same thing, except it has a nice shiny color over here for the little stripes and all that. So I like that too. On the back, he has all those stripes going through again, and just looks pretty cool. Like just the way how it has the silver, like the shiny paint in there compared to like the dull paint in here. Like I just really do like that. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Like the figure just looks pleasing altogether. Even more pleasing than the Flash figure. Like this guy doesn't need any shading or any of that. It just looks good how it is, which I like how Mattel did it. But yeah, look at the legs over here. Has the stripes going out through again. All the Krypton writing in there. Kryptonian. And looking at the boots, they're pretty much the exact same thing. But yeah, very aesthetically pleasing figure. I really do like the paint that they put in this guy. And looking at the bottom of the toe over here, let's see if this will pick up. The Kryptonian writing is still going through. And yeah, looks pretty nice. And then he has the China stuff at the bottom of his foot with 2 peg holes. Does he have a buttload of information? No, he does not. Yet all the other characters do. That's pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it with taking a look at this figure. How about we take a look at his articulation? Taking a look at the articulation of this figure, it's pretty much the exact same thing with this guy over here, but there is some things that you can do with it that you can't do in this one because of the plastic cape that they gave in this. So yeah, taking a look at the articulation, his head can move about that much. Compare it to this guy over here, his head can't even move up that much, which is kind of good that they fixed that. It can move down pretty far, can move side to side. There's a bit of a head pivot in there. His arms can go out that much, which isn't too much. You can rotate forward, back, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and once again, he probably has the best elbow articulation in the entire wave because it bends at a full 90 degrees when the other ones bent at like what was it, like 110 degrees or something like that. But yeah, he can do wrist swivel. He has no ab crunch. Come on, Mattel. Everyone, or Batman has an ab crunch. He should have an ab crunch too, shouldn't he? He has a waist swivel. He can kick forward. Not so much though. They didn't fix this problem. They fixed it with the Tactical Batman, but apparently for this guy they can't fix the problem, which is kind of also bothersome. Like, what if I want him like going all out on his knee up here in a flying pose, right? Okay. He can do a thigh swivel. He can kick his legs out far, but he does have the gaping crotch pit thing, which is also kind of bothersome. He has a single jointed knee, which bends in okay, and then his feet can move up or down that much, and up that much. So, I don't know, man. Articulation, Mattel's kind of ruining it But you know what? As much as for what the figure looks like just him in a pose just like that, it just looks awesome. Like just how the way the cape drapes down, and then the colors of the suit. It's just very, very, very neat. But yeah, that's about it with his articulation. Let's get into some comparisons. Kal-El compared to the Batman v Superman Multiverse figure, which is the last figure that we got in this wave. And as you can see, the colors on this is way better than this one over here. I think that the blue color on this one is a little bit too light, but this one's just absolutely perfect. And the way how they just put the paint on all the stripes. So here's Superman compared to the ordinary suit Batman. And I think that these two really do fit into scale well with each other. World's finest over here, everybody, the DCEU. I did mention on this guy's review with this guy over here that his height was a little bit too short, and that if they were to match his figure with this one over here, it would have been too short anyways. But they did fix the problem, because if you were to look over here, he is a just very slightly taller in a way, so he does fit into scale a lot better with Batman. Yet over here, he kind of doesn't. I don't know. Looking through the camera over here, you can really see that they're kind of the exact same height, but just that little difference makes it that much better. Tell me till you bleed. Here's Superman compared to some comic book versions of himself. We got the Greg Capullo designer series Superman over here, and the DC Icons Rebirth Superman. So this one's basically the New 52 Superman, and that one's basically the Rebirth Superman. So you could see how he compares to the comics these days, and he's actually pretty similar. Finally, there's Superman compared to all the other figures inside this wave. By the way, can you guys guess which figure's next now that everyone's reviewed? That's really it with this figure, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this figure. Will you pick him up? Will you leave him be? Will you collect it for the Steppenwolf figure? Tell me in the comments below. I've already told you my thoughts on this figure. I think that the paint apps are phenomenal. The articulation is shit. But that's pretty much it with this figure. So anyway, guys, I'm repeating myself again. Hope you have enjoyed. And see you later.